भ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। प्रातर्नमामि तमसः परमर्कवर्णम्।
प्रातर्नमामि तमसः परमर्कवर्णम्।
पूर्णं सनातनपदं पुरुषोत्तमाख्यम्।
पूर्णं सनातनपदं पुरुषोत्तमाख्यम्।
यस्मिन्निदं जगदशेषमशेषमूर्तौ।
यस्मिन्निदं जगदशेषमशेषमूर्तौ।
ऋज्वां भुजङ्गम इव प्रतिभासितं वै।
रज्ज्वां भुजङ्गम इव प्रतिभासितं वै।
See, Praaatassmarana Stotram, it is very short encomium, 3 verses only, but it has many topics of Vedanta incorporated in it. If you remember, I have covered only 2 verses, but I have covered many topics like Atma Paramatma thing. One topic I have covered. How to transform the inner consciousness, that is another topic I have covered. Then the 3 states of waking, etc. topic is covered. Then the body, which is the conglomerate of the 5 elements, and the Atma distinct from it, the topic is covered. You see how many topics are covered in the first verse itself. Like that, a few topics are covered in the second verse. Positive versus negative, many important things were covered. And in the third verse, we are going to cover some important facets of Vedantic wisdom. Please come. So, Pratarnamami. See, we have to begin the day, that is what Prataha is, with a sense of humility. And keep the humility with us always. Namami. See, people should not be haughty. You know haughty? H-A-U-G-H-T-Y. Or arrogant. People are like that. Very unfortunate. This haughtiness or this arrogance could come out of multiple reasons. One is rich and therefore becomes arrogant. Sometimes they don't know that they are arrogant. They don't know that they are arrogant. Super rich and become arrogant, and then there is a downfall waiting. You read newspapers, right? New York Times, etc. You read. So, and then there are multiple kinds of arrogance arising out of multiple reasons. So somebody, male or female, believes that he or she is very beautiful, and then become arrogant out of that feeling. And that is again the so-called beauty. It is very short-lived. And so the arrogance will be transformed into distress. Therefore, one should have humility. I will say a few things about this humility. Please pay attention. It's not, generally I don't like to give a moral lecture. You should not be arrogant. That becomes a moral lecture. Giving that is not Vedanta. You have to examine what is arrogance and why arrogance. And then from that understanding, the arrogance will disappear. Sometimes people have arrogance out of scholarship. They are assuming that they are scholarly. Quite often you come across mediocre stuff. You don't find scholarship that easy. There is a lot of tapas involved in scholarship. Quite often people don't have energy and time to study for years together. They study something, dabble a little here, a little there, and become gurus. Everybody is in a hurry to become guru. really. They do not remain students. Whereas the people of real humility, they don't become gurus. They remain students till the last breath. The process of learning, it doesn't end there. And suppose you say, I am a guru, then you cannot learn. Do you understand that? You cannot learn. You see, one middle-aged Swami came to meet me, and he is already very well established guru. He came to meet me. He noticed that he can pick up a book or two from me and read it and get benefit out of it like that. But he cannot do that now, because he cannot read somebody else's Vedanta book. All others have to read the Vedanta book that he wrote. Some silly notes, some Tattvavidananda he prepared. People have to read it. Now he cannot read a book like this prepared by somebody else. Oh, you made this book, that book, very nice. Like that he says. But he cannot pick up and read. And he somehow guesses that he can learn something more, but he doesn't learn. Because he is guru. So, therefore, people are in a hurry. I am sorry to say, we come across quite a good number of such people who are in a hurry, and they want to become gurus. That takes away all the humility from the heart. Means humility is the readiness to learn. That is the humility. You can learn from a dry leaf, from a kid, from an animal, from a tree, from everything you can learn. I knew one Mahatma in Rishikesh called Swami Ramsukhdas Ji Maharaj. He used to say in Hindi, जो सबको गुरु मानता है वही गुरु हो सकता है. Like that he used to say. And so it may appear as if I'm the guru sitting in a very specially prepared seat and all that. But really speaking, more than a guru, I am a shishya, I am a student. But I am not a shishya of one given person, this and that. A student whole life. Every minute you are a student. Learn from every single person. I don't know how to explain it or express it. There is a consciousness which you can create for yourself, that inner consciousness which is ever in a learning mode. Ever. And if that mode you discover in yourself, that learning mode, that is the humility. You discover it in yourself, you will be learning endlessly. And there is no occasion where you cannot learn. Every single occasion helps you learn. That is the humility. In doing so, you overcome the outer trappings, like their dress, their cultural habits, etc. All those things you are able to put aside. They don't come in the way, and you learn from the other person. You can learn like that. You can learn from a pop singer, from a rock artist. You can learn from anybody and everybody. And so that is the spirit. You don't mind me being forthright, right? You don't mind. So you see, the speaker says a few things and walks away. You take what is good and you have to think about the thing. Nothing more to it. Therefore, why should you mind whatever the speaker says? You should not. Right? Because if I am sitting on your shoulders, you have to mind. But if I just walk away, what is there to mind? You listen and examine and think. And if it is worthwhile, you hold on to it. Otherwise, you dismiss it. It is very simple. There is no reason for minding at all. But still I appealed not to mind. So, that humility to learn must be there. So why I prepared that ground that you should not mind and all that? Because I wanted to say, when you declare to yourself or to others or both that such and such person is my guru, you declare like that. People do that. In fact, most of them do that only. Such and such person is my guru. Now what happens? You know what that means? It means that your learning curve has fallen upon itself and there is no learning anymore. That is what it means. There is no learning. And now you make a claim, tall claim, that I am the Shishya of that person. And so you remain within that cocoon, within that claim, which forms a self-enclosing arrogance, and you don't learn anymore. This mistake one should not do. You revere all the gurus. You revere all the gurus. It is true that you have learned most from one guru. That is also true. But you are willing to look at the entire universe as guru. And most importantly, life as guru. Life is the best teacher. And if life is the guru, the real guru is life. And where is that life? Is it outside of you or is it with you? It is with you. Therefore, all such understanding should be there. That gives a sense of humility. Otherwise, you know what happens? You fall into the arrogance of Gurudom. The Gurudom has two kinds of arrogance. Only the Guru is arrogant. I am Guru. These are all my Sishyas. That is arrogance from this side. Then the arrogance of the Sishyas is there. We are all, oh, he is my Guru. He or she is our Guru. We are all one group, and he or she is our Guru. And then look at others in a condescending way. You know what I mean? Oh, all these people, they are temple people, they don't know any Vedanta. They are all temple guys. They don't know anything. What about you? I have a feeling that you are equally a temple guy. So, this kind of arrogance. And then I can say in a very arrogant fashion, oh, in America they are all worldly people, they are rich people, they enjoy pleasures, they don't know anything about self. I can say that. That makes me arrogant. That does not make Americans inferior. That only makes me arrogant. Because mukhe mukhe saraswati, there is wisdom, knowledge in every heart. Therefore, you should not allow the study of Vedanta and the association with a great Mahatma, the association with a big ashram, the association with a big group, Vedanta group, to make you arrogant. You should not allow that. You should not allow any divisive thinking also. Oh, we are this group, they are that group. And then there is a schism between the two groups. Oh, that is not our guru, this is our guru. That kind of a schism. And then hostility. They say sampradaya, we are this sampradaya, that sampradaya. In the name of sampradaya, what all people entertain is arrogance. And these are all very unfortunate. They are there among the students of Vedanta, and they are there among some of the gurus also. This creates a very undesirable situation. And you nice people, good meaning people, you should not fall into these traps. You should have that humility alive within, the humility to learn from life, From everything you can learn. When you have that attitude, that the consciousness has to be tuned the proper way, then when you are learning, you become fulfilled and joyous. You learn a lot, especially when the kids come to you and you try to play with them, but they are smarter than you. Suddenly you realize that a 4-year-old kid is smarter than you. That is a big realization. The kid doesn't know that he has become a guru, but I know that he is the guru because I have learned something from the kid. A kid, I was eating food and a kid came to me and asked, Swamiji, do you know a nut which is not a nut? I was thinking, would you like to figure it out? And I asked, will you, I don't know, you tell me, don't act. Then I looked at the child, how smart the child is. There is so much you can learn from the other people. So only you need humility. Praaatassmarana. Then this humility, you see this is the topic. Verse is one, topics are five. The humility has another dimension, if you don't mind. I point out the mirror, that is all I do. You see, suppose, in the Indian context particularly, suppose a minister walks in. We are all studying Vedanta. A minister walks in. Minister is, cabinet minister or state minister. Or the revenue collector. Collector is a big man in the zilla, in the district. Collector. Here they call county, something like that. The collector walks in. A revenue official walks in. The guru stands up and receives him. All the sishyas are very respectful. They revere that person. They show tremendous respect to this person. Right? Am I right? Are you getting the scene? Or a rich man, a super rich, a big man, walks in. Oh, Aiye, please come. Like that we show some respect. Suppose the sweeper walks in. Then what? You look contemptuously towards that person, right? Hey, what are you doing here? Why did you come here? Go there and sweep there. Right? Am I right? I am giving an extreme example. You may not exactly that way, you may not respond, but something akin to that. Means you reserve your respect to the rich and powerful. You don't want to waste the respect upon the weak and the poor. This is arrogance. This arrogance you find, unfortunately, among gurus. In gurus you find it. In students of Vedanta you find it. And all these so-called acharyas, they practice this kind of discrimination. They do that. Then if you ask me, suppose, yes, Swami, you don't do it, I don't do that. The maid servant comes. In fact, nowadays they are not using the word maid servant. The language has also, the language is the product of culture. And if the cultural trait is to disrespect certain people, then the language also will be similar to that. So the word maid servant is replaced by domestic help. We don't use maid servant anymore. We use domestic help. That is the word used. I noticed even earlier Anatha Sharanalaya used to be there, the place where destitute children live. Now the word Anatha, somehow it is not a very nice word, they removed it. Now they don't say Anatha, they say Arakshita. And our dear Prime Minister, beloved Prime Minister, he introduced a new word, Vikalanga, he replaced it with Divyanga. Look at that. Vikala means handicapped. Divya means divine. Very beautiful thing it is. There is a respect in calling a person Divyangaha. There is a disrespect in describing a person Vikalanga. So we should learn to respect all. Therefore, the maid comes, the domestic help comes and says, Swami, you get up and stand outside for a while. Okay, thank you. Go and stand outside so that she will clean. Treat her as a family member with the respect that you give to your colleague, to your friend, to your member of the family, the same respect you give to the domestic help. I noticed one thing and then I felt sad. You see, there is a boy, 4-year-old boy, very naughty. That is how they should be. Children should be like that. They should be bubbly, so much enthusiastic. That is the age. And this boy is particularly naughty and very active. Good, it is a joyous sight. And his father can discipline him. Hey, don't do that. He will more or less oblige. Mother can discipline too. Grandfather can, hey, stop it. Grandfather has the right to discipline. And a grandmother also kind of some right to discipline. And they have a domestic servant who has to take care of this boy. And when she tries to discipline, he says, no, get out. Did you get this situation? Means at the age of 4, the way we treat, we conduct ourselves, the way we treat the servant or the domestic help, the children pick it up. And the boy is about to jump from there to here. Father says, hey, don't jump. He will stop. But if this maid who is taking care of him the whole day, paid for the service, she asks, don't jump. He will jump. Hey, shut up. He will jump. I noticed it. 4-year-old child. Then I understood. We people put arrogance into the children because we are arrogant people. That is how they get. Therefore, I have described the word respect vis-a-vis arrogance in a few situations with which we are familiar, and I humbly suggest that we should cultivate that humility. There is no reason to be arrogant. Nothing is permanent in this world. Everything will dissolve. There is no reason to be arrogant. Under that sense, you should recollect or you should think like that as you wake up in the morning. Praaatassmarana. Then the Atma which is Paramatma, Here, this I have discussed in some good detail. The lesser versus the bigger. The lesser is in you, the bigger is in you. Normally, in a religious context, the lesser is in you and the bigger is in Vaikuntha. That is Dvaitam. Vaikuntha is here. This is the Vaikuntha. This is called Vaikuntha for a very significant reason. Vaikuntha is not a place somewhere above in the clouds. Vaikuntha is here. The pure heart is the Vaikuntha. So blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they come to know God. Bible. Okay? So this is the Vaikuntha. And also kingdom of heaven within. That is also Bible. This is the heaven. So this is the Vaikuntha. And the divine, the divinity is the God. The divinity which is in this Vaikuntha is God. And the one, that phantom ego or the phantom person born out of identification with the body-mind is the lesser. So the lesser is here, the bigger is here. Okay? And the lesser prays to the bigger or submits to the bigger. And what is the purpose of the lesser submitting to the bigger? The purpose is to merge in the bigger. That is the purpose. Not to retain the identity of the lesser. That is not the purpose. That's why all these prayers, you have to examine the prayer, look at the prayer and ask the question, this prayer, will it strengthen the lesser or will it help weaken the lesser? You have to ask the question. And if the prayer looks like, this doesn't strengthen, this doesn't weaken the lesser, it makes the lesser big man. It makes the lesser strong. You are following? Yes. It makes the lesser strong. Suppose we are praying for fulfilling a desire. Oh God, give me gold. You are praying. Assuming that the prayer is answered, assume that. Okay? Now, will it be answered or not, it is a matter of belief only. I give it to you. You assume that it is answered. So what will be the outcome? You get a lot of gold and you become more egoic. The ego sense becomes strong. Therefore, the prayer did not serve a good purpose. In fact, it has become counterproductive. Therefore, the prayer must be, of course, provisionally it is the prayer of the lesser to the bigger, but provisionally we take a kind of a division, but eventually the lesser grows and becomes one with the bigger. That is the purpose of the prayer. And the prayer should be like that. You see, one place, a big ashram has brought out a prayers book. One of the Swamis, he said, we made a prayers book. And he wanted my opinion about it. I asked, why do you want my opinion? No, you tell. Okay, I went through the prayers. I told you claim that you are a student of Vedanta. How come you have this kind of prayer in this? This is not a Vedantic prayer. This is the prayer of a worldly person who doesn't want to know self and all that, who wants to grow in the worldly context. And for him there is the sense of division rooted in him, Dvaita. It fits in the Dvaita context. It doesn't fit in the Vedanta context. Before making a prayer book, you have to know either yourself or you have to consult the one who knows. So, I disapprove it. This is not for me. This is how they make prayer books. And these prayer books, they are not aimed at uplifting the person. They are aimed at preparing a sect. Make a sect. The religious sect kind of thing, a sect. And a sect must have a few trappings, like we have our own God, distinct from every other God. Our own prayers, distinct from other prayers. So we are a group, unique. It makes like that. That is how these people function. That is most unfortunate. You should not try to present yourself as unique. You should not do that. You have to merge in the whole. That is what you have to do. So when I go to Manhattan, I should not put myself in a position where everybody in Manhattan will look at me. That is what I have to do. What I have to do is merge in the Manhattan crowd. That is what I have to do. They all put hats, you also get hold of a hat and put it. So you merge in the Manhattan crowd. That is humility. That is the way you have to do. So all prayers are meant for merger. They are not meant for maintaining a unique, separate identity. And so that thing in which you want to merge, you are praying to that. And what is that? It is the self-effulgent light within you. As I was saying yesterday, I am not tired of reminding people. You look within and you do not identify with what you encounter immediately. When you look at yourself, you encounter the body, don't identify with it. It is a very material thing it is. And it is already falling apart, disintegrating. How do you know? Look at all these hospitals. You don't need so many hospitals and so much of medical staff and all that if the body is in hale and healthy condition. Because the body is falling apart by the day. And so just to keep it together for some more time, hopefully, all this establishment is put in place. Therefore, you don't want to identify with a thing which is falling apart. And you don't want to identify with such an unstable thing called mind. It is so changeful, so fickle, fickle. And so you want to identify with it. Before even you are looking at it, it is changing. Such a silly thing as mind, instead of understanding it and watching it, you need not boss over it, you need not command it or control it. But all you have to do is understand its movement by watching its movement. That is all you have to do. Instead of understanding it for what it is, you want to identify with it, you don't want to do it. Just keep that safe distance from the mind. Then, so as you look at yourself, you don't identify with the body, you don't identify with the mind. That is a big topic, but I made it very brief. Then you stand out as that light within. There is a light within. Again, you should not go in a wrong track. The wrong track would be, oh, that light, is it blue or red? Is it here or here? Some people say it is here. Some people say even below that. And then it is up. This coming up and going down. So you don't fall into that trap. It is all a trap. It is all a product of fertile imagination. That is what it is, nothing more. Therefore, don't go into all that. When I say light, I don't mean this kind of light. You have to use some word, it's a metaphor. Light is a metaphor. Outside light is literal, that is a literal. Inside light is metaphor. How light you put on, everything shines. Otherwise darkness. Similarly, when I open my eyes, everything shines. That is the light. Okay? You are like, I give you an illustration, you are like that miner, the mine person, a coal miner, who is inside the bowels of the mine, where coal mine, everything is dark. And he has a headlamp shining brilliantly. He looks in this direction, everything in that direction jumps into the light, and everything else remains in the darkness. Then he turns his head, all of this will go into darkness, and this jumps into light. You are like that miner, that light within you. You look, all the forms come to light. Light of knowledge, light of consciousness. You hear, all the sounds come to light. And you think, all the thinkables come to light. You touch, all the touchables come to light. You are that light. Nana chidra ghatodara sthita mahadeepa prabha bhasvaram. Must have heard that expression from Dakshinamurti Stotra. So, just imagine, put a lamp there, brilliant lamp, and put a potter on it. Make a pot, sit on it. Only this pot has multiple holes. And now the light within will be pouring out of all these holes. That is what you are. The body-mind is the pot, and the light within is the very matrix of all knowledge, the very knowingness. It is like you walk into a sweet shop, you find multiple dishes, multiple kinds of sweets, what they say. But all these sweets the myriad sweets, have only one matrix, and that is sugar. So similarly, all knowledge, knowledge of the senses, sensorial knowledge, knowledge gathered by the mind, all knowledge, all experiences, all, good, bad, pleasant, unpleasant, all these experiences, all these cognitions, all the knowledge have one matrix, a single matrix, and that is the very knowingness, the light of awareness, because of which you are aware of sounds, because of which you are aware of smells, of tastes, of the world, of the planets, of the stars, of the gods, of the goddesses. You are aware of gods and goddesses also because of that inner light. That light is the Atma, that is the Paramatma. That light is in you, if only you care to look at yourself correctly. That light is in you, shining brilliantly. Okay? It is like this bulb wants to identify with the outer cover. Wrong. It wants to identify with the filament. Wrong. It has to identify with that thing called electricity, that power, which makes it shine brilliantly. Similarly, this is like a machine, and it can know things, and it can do things. This machine can do two jobs: to do, to know. And what is the power behind all this doing? And what is the power behind all this knowing? So that is the light of Atma, inner light. And that light, it is like the sun, Arkavarnam, resembling the sun. In the solar system, what is that one light because of which the entire solar system shines? That is the sun. That is the sun here. The inner sun. The sun of Atma. Atma is always compared with the sun, Arkavarnam. Very interestingly, that light, it not only illuminates knowledge, but also illuminates ignorance. Because when you are ignorant, you can know that you are ignorant. You see, who are the worldly people? Ignorant people. Wrong. Ignorant people are not worldly people. The people are ignorant and they don't know that they are ignorant. They are the worldly people. Whereas people are ignorant and notice that they are ignorant. They are jignasus, not ignorant people anymore. When you know your ignorance, you have humility, then only you will know your ignorance. You see, what is the volume of your knowledge vis-a-vis the volume of ignorance? Take any subject. Suppose you are a physician. What is the volume of your knowledge, that physician knowledge, compared with the volume of the total physician knowledge? What is the volume? Not even 1%. Suppose you are a chemist. The amount of chemistry that is there in this creation, your knowledge of chemistry is not even 0.1%. So, the ignorance is more. The knowledge is less. But fortunately, the inner light, it illuminates both knowledge and ignorance. It is like these horror films, horror films. The horror film, take black and white, the Hitchcock horror film, black and white. In that film, the shadows are more and the bright spots are less. Right? But still, all those shadows and all those bright spots are illuminated by one light. Therefore, that light of the projector, it is beyond the bright spots as well as the shadows. This is what is called black and white. When you go to a black and white movie, both black and the white are illuminated by the same light. You follow? Same way, here there is so much ignorance and a little knowledge, and both are illuminated by that inner light. And in doing so, it transcends both knowledge as well as ignorance. You see, suppose you ask a person, "Sir, are you knowledgeable or ignorant?" If he says, "I am ignorant," then he is a samsari. Suppose he says, "I am knowledgeable," then also he is samsari. Because Mahatmas, they are not knowledgeable in contrast to people who are ignorant. That is not what they are. Then what are they? They are beyond knowledge and ignorance. Knowledge is limited and ignorance is darkness. Therefore, tamasaha param. That inner light, it transcends both knowledge and ignorance. It is very similar to the sun and earth situation. The sun, earth has day and night. What about sun? Sun has day. Is it all day and day only for the sun? Or is it both day and night? Neither. When there is day, there is night on the earth. As far as the sun is concerned, neither day nor night. Means beyond day and night. But who creates the day and night on the earth? The sun only. Sun only causes day and night on the earth. Because of sun only you have day. Because of sun only you have night. Suppose there is no sun, then there is no day, there is no night. You take the illustration. So similar, but sun itself is beyond day and night. Similarly, the light within, you should not confuse it with knowledge. This is a confusion that is very prevalent among the students of Vedanta. I say like that, please don't mind. Because I cannot help it. I come across the students of Vedanta and see that they don't know properly, and therefore I point it out. Hoping that too many context is there. I don't go, "Hey, come here, you don't know." I don't do that. In a classroom I point out. Okay? So they assume that they have knowledge. They assume. I say that is arrogance. No, we studied Vedanta books and we have knowledge of Vedanta. Yeah, I understand. I know what books you have studied also. Okay? So, you have what you have knowledge is, there is a name for it. It is called conceptual Vedanta. Shall I illustrate it to you? This illustration, I invented it last year. I come out with a new edition. So, let me use it one more time. I was a high school student in a remote village. And in the high school, we were like donkeys, living like donkeys. And in the high school. And in the high school, in the social studies is a topic, social studies. And there is one paper also on it. You have to write the paper. Social studies. In the social studies, one section is geography. And in that, the Jalapatam, means waterfalls, is a topic. And then the greatest waterfall in the world is Niagara. It is not Niagara, really speaking, but that is how it is told at that time. Niagara. And so, then the question, bit paper, one objective questions. One question, one answer, 1 mark. 2 marks. So, what is the greatest waterfall in American continent? Question. I immediately wrote Niagara. N-A-Y-A-G-A-R-A. The next person who is writing the exam a few feet away from me, he doesn't remember. Buddhu. He scratched me. Hey, what is that? Niagara. What is that you say again? If I say loudly, the invigilator will come. See it. He said, is it N-A-Y-A, G-A-R-A or R-A-G-A? G-A-R-A. Then he wrote it. He got 2 marks, I got 2 marks. Okay, he is ignorant, I am knowledgeable. Right? He is ignorant and I am knowledgeable. Wrong. The fact is, he is ignorant and I am also ignorant. Okay? Then I came to US. Then I was going back to India. US I have done some teaching and I'm ready to go back. Some 2-3 days time is there, all classes are over. You see something, did you see? No, I have not seen. You see Niagara? Okay, let us see Niagara. So I went to Niagara. You know, while going, I knew Niagara even in high school days. I got more marks in Niagara. High school days I knew it. What a big deal. Okay, let me see. I went and saw it. Then I discovered a truth. That is, the word is not the thing. That is the law. That is the greatest discovery in one's life. The word is not the thing. If you are conscious of that, you become very humble and you know what is learning. Interestingly, when I am looking at Niagara, the word is not there. Word drops. The word is there only so long as I don't know it. The moment I commune with it, I am with it, the poor word, it drops. That is what Upanishad says. Yato vacho nivartante. Piche hat jata hai. It falls back. It cannot stand on par with the thing. The thing is before you. The word cannot stand on par with the thing. It falls back. The word is not the thing. Then I understood. What an ignorance. I knew Niagara. It was ignorance. Now I know Niagara. Therefore, these Vedantic people who claim that they know Vedanta, their knowledge is like my Niagara knowledge. It is, did you get the spirit of it?
Yes.
It is purely conceptual knowledge. In fact, I don't want to call it knowledge, but they are all calling it knowledge and feel good about it. Patting their own back. I know, I have knowledge, I have knowledge, I have knowledge. Arey Buddhu, you don't have knowledge. Be humble enough to admit that you have knowledge, don't have knowledge. Shall I tell you one principle? Will you be able to grasp it? You don't get knowledge. You only know that you do not know. Atma, there is nothing like knowledge of Atma. There is only knowledge that you do not know. You realize that you do not know. That is only there. When you know it, you will not come up and say, I know it. And if you come up and say, I know it, that means you don't know it. जो बोलता है मैं जानता हूँ वो नहीं जानता है. Did you not hear? Aviज्ञातम विजानताम विज्ञातम अविजानताम. Did you hear that statement? From Kenopanishad. Yasya matam tasya matam. Matam yasya na vedasaha. Did you hear these vakyas? One who claims that he has known doesn't know. One who says it is unknown and unknowable, he knows. Therefore, there is nothing like knowledge of Atma. It is an expression only. There is no knowledge of Atma. There is only knowledge that you don't know. To put it in other words, there is only knowledge of ignorance. Therefore, don't confuse that knowledge, which is the opposite of ignorance, as that inner light of awareness. The knowledge, which is the opposite of ignorance, that is the dvandva, a pair of opposites. And that inner light is beyond both. Tamasah paramarkavarnam purnam. You are that. Now and here you are that. That's why the one who knows the true self, he never feels that he knows. It is, I give you an example, very simple example. The person who is healthy, he doesn't feel he is healthy. He is just healthy. Goes around with a lot of enthusiasm. He doesn't feel he is healthy, right? But a person who becomes sick, he sees the difference between health and sickness. And he becomes normal, then he feels that he is healthy. For a day or two he feels, and then he too forgets that. Because health you do not feel, only sickness you feel. Knowledge you do not know, only ignorance you know. Some of these nuances of Vedantic wisdom you have to pay attention to. Done. Tamasah paramarkavarnam purnam. You are Purna. You know what is Purna? Yesterday I was saying, all positive assertions are false. So the word Purna looks like a positive assertion, but you should not understand it that way. You have to understand it as the absence of the sense of want. That is the Purna. You see, I sit in a place and somebody gives me bhiksha, I consume that bhiksha, and I am like a king, Maharaja. Why? Do I own wealth? No, I don't own wealth. Oh, that means you are poor. I am not poor. I am like a king. Do you want anything? I don't want anything. I don't want. The word want has no place in our dictionary. We feel full all the time. The want is created by the ignorant mind. You do not lack anything. You see, food is already cooked and is waiting. What do you lack? You lack nothing. There is a roof on your head. What do you want? Want is lack, you know. So our lives have become full of the sense of want. Make money that leaves you with a sense of want. Enjoy pleasures leaves you with a sense of want. In our childhood we used to run away and see movie. And having seen one movie, we feel like seeing one more movie. And when we are denied the opportunity of seeing one more movie, we feel the sense of want. The bhogas are like that. You make some wonderful dishes and enjoy the food. By evening you will start feeling the want again. Oh, one more time I did not get the chance, like that. So the pleasures leave you with a sense of want. The religions promote the sense of want. The religions and politicians are alike in many ways. The politicians, they appease you. We will give you color TVs if you give vote to us. We will increase your salary if you give vote to us. Like that they appease people. In India is a very messy democracy. So there, very unabashed attempt to offer freebies to people in order to garner their votes. That is what politicians do. You are all well aware of it. That is exactly what the religious gurus do. The religions, they appease you. You know what the religion says? If you take a dip in this river, all your sins are washed away. What is that? The person, and then they list the names of the sins. Fortunately, you don't know Sanskrit, therefore you don't see all this. If you see the names, Brahmahatyam va ete gnanti, he killed a Brahmana, that will go away. That sin will go away. He killed a child, Bhrunahatya, that also will go away. He has stolen a lot of property, that also, all those sins will be washed away. Some more sins you can think of, like cyber hacking, etc., they are also sins, but they did not know them. Take a dip in the river and it will go away. What is that? What do you mean by that? Just to take a dip, 1, 2, 3, all sins are gone. What kind of appeasement it is? And then one more appeasement. Eat prasadam. You will get all wealth into your lap. By eating you will get wealth. Yeah. Just by eating. By eating you get a lot of calories into the system. That is all you get. And so this prasadam appeasement is a big business it is. Sell prasadam, left and right. Then sometimes they auction prasadam. In India they auction. They make prasadam, big laddu. This big laddu, how laddu can be that big? But they make it. And do some naivedyam. What naivedyam? Some kind of make-believe. And then put it for sale. The laddu prasadam is on sale. The starting point for bidding is 10,000 rupees. Finally it was sold for 63,000 rupees. What is this? So people, they are in queue and they are falling over each other to get a bit of that prasadam. Why? You eat it. Then what will happen? God will be very pleased and He will shower your desires. Does it sound as appeasement to you, or does it sound very religious to you? How does it sound? Religions and political parties appease people. And so people go for that. Very unfortunate. Therefore, religions promote the sense of dearth, lack, or want among people. Putrarthi labhate putran. Oh, I don't have putras. Dhanarthi labhate dhanam. Oh, I don't have dhanam. Bhogarthi labhate bhogan. Oh, I don't have bhogas. Come, we will see that you get all that. You followed the trend of it. Therefore, worldly people promote the sense of lack, incompleteness, or dissatisfaction. You have everything, but you are dissatisfied. The religion promotes it. They do that way. You have to come out of these influences. The sense of want which is inculcated in us by the society, by the family, and by the religion, you have to come out of it. That religion is not the true religion. It is the religion of the masses. You should not become a victim of that. You come out of that sense of want. You dismiss all of it. And then look at yourself and ask yourself, do I want anything? You get the answer, no. Purnam. Sanatana padam. Pada is that which you have to reach, the goal. You are the goal. There is no goal outside of you. That goal inside, that Vaikuntha is in you. The Vishnu is in you. If Vishnu is in you, he is everywhere. If Vishnu is not in you, then he is nowhere. That is the law. These are all laws of Vedanta, as precise as any physical or mathematical law. So, this is hot water?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not so hot. It could be warm.
I will be cautious.
It's okay.
Yeah, you cover it. Therefore, you are the goal. Pada is the goal. You are the goal. The goal is within you. Don't search for outside. They tell stories. The aeroplane came and enter into it and it will take you to heaven. The story could be significant. If you take it literally, it is worthless. But take its significance. The aeroplane is the inner meditation. That is the aeroplane. Seek within, look within, search within. That is the aeroplane. It will take you to Vaikuntha, which is your own divinity. You take it that way. Then you can make some sense out of it. So that is the padam. Then Sanatana is the word is there. The Sanatana word, I need some time to explain it, but I will make a brief job of it. You know, in India they say Sanatani, Arya Samaji, don't fall into all that. Okay. In that context, you know what is Sanatani? Those who follow this religion of the masses, they are called Sanatani. All the temple guys, they are the Sanatani. Whereas Arya Samaja people, they are not temple people. They have something else. They are different. So the Sanatana is not that Sanatana. For God's sake, that is not Sanatana. What is the Sanatana? The timeless. Sanatana means timeless. Okay? Suppose you say, I was born, today is my 45th birthday. Are you within time or out of time? I'll make a brief job of it. So you say, I have retired. Are you in time or out of time? So today is my 23rd marriage day. People are saying, look at this. And you say you are all Vedanta. What Vedanta? 23rd marriage day. You are in the grip of time or you are out of time? Are you following? I am just trying to demonstrate how time binds you. It is the time which binds. So, you see, there is a staircase, three floors, and a person is standing there. Come, I said, come. No, 3 stairs. Oh, so what? Come. No, I am old. I said, you are not old. What do you mean by you are old? You have already declared that you are old. You are not old. He is a student of Vedanta. You are timeless. Why do you say you are old? Then he shook his head, and I was going up, and he followed me. And he did it a few times and then told me, Swamiji, that is true. I am not old. Now you know how time binds you. I have seen a person celebrating 75th birthday. He is a big man, rich man, and all people are coming and congratulating him. What is there to congratulate? Or compliment? What is there to compliment? But you know what? He felt some breathlessness in this hangama, tamasha going on. So he felt breathlessness. Then immediately somebody ran and brought oxygen cylinder and put it to his mouth. Now again he is smiling. Now people are victims of time. Is he celebrating 75th birthday, or is he afraid of the impending death? What is the fact of what is the truth? Oh, already 75. He is afraid of death. So you are in time, right? You perform an action now, puja you do now, and you will get result in the future. Are you in time or are you out of time? You are in time, right? Suppose you perform the action and don't even get attached to the result thereof. Now what? Now you are out of time, Appa. Did anybody tell you? Karmanya vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You understand that correctly, it takes you out of time. Out of the net of time. So, I make it brief. You are caught in the net of time. You can come out of the net. You can step out of the net. You can step out of the net. Don't constantly push yourself inside the net of time. You step out of the net of time. If you wish, you can. I am timeless. I am neither old nor young. I was never born, nor I am going to die. That is what Sri Krishna was saying from the verse 1 onwards. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire, etc. Nayam hanti nahanyate. From verse 1, Ashochyananvasochasvam. He was saying, you are timeless. You are not time bound. You make a list, what is time bound? You made a home, time bound. You have a body, time bound. You made a coat, suit, time bound. You entered into a marriage, time bound, don't mind. You gave birth to children, time bound. You did yajna, time bound. Go to heaven and within a short while that punyam is exhausted, then you will be thrown back. Time bound. All religious rituals, time bound. Their results, time bound. All that you can accomplish in this world, time bound. Your body, time bound. Your mind is momentary, time bound. Your sense organs and organs of action, time bound. The light within, which recognizes all these time bound things, timeless. That's it. So where do you want to put yourself in? In the time bound or in the timeless? You have to think. Time is a very big topic, it is. Not many Vedantins recognize properly that it is the time which binds you. Karma bandha is kala bandha. Okay, I tried to show you in a small way. So it's a big topic. So you are timeless. And you are the goal. Sanatana padam Purushottamakhya. They put a name to it. The goal is Purushottama. The word Purushottama can be made in two ways. The compound it is in two ways. Among Purushas, supreme. That is Dvaita. All Purushas are there. They are all Jivas. They are all inferior. They will remain inferior. They are forever inferior. And there is the superior. That is the Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha is the superior. He is forever superior. And all these guys are forever inferior. That is the Purushanam Uttamaha. These are all Purushas and he is the supreme. That is Dvaita. On the other hand, you are inferior by choice. Optionally, you are inferior. If you know your divinity, you are the superior. You got the point? It is like a prince doesn't know that he is the prince. He assumes that he is a beggar. He is the beggar because he doesn't know himself properly. If only he knows himself properly, he is the prince. You are a jiva because you have not understood yourself correctly. You are the deva if you understand your divinity, if you discover your divinity. Okay? You see, when a doctor treats a patient in India, the patient tells the doctor, "Oh, Dr. Saab, you are the God." That is true. There is divinity in the doctor, which helped the patient. Okay? But the doctor says, "No, I am not God." Then he is not God. Mother, Matru Devo Bhava. Mother is the God. God is not some superhuman being sitting in the clouds catching cold. That is not God. God is where human being is. Where man is, there God is. The lower nature of the man is the soul, the jiva, and the higher nature within the same man is deva. So, you see, a man can be an animal man, or he can be a normal man if only he overcomes his animal instincts. Or he can become a superman if only he pulls out some of his great faculties. Or he can discover his true nature, he can become the divine man. Everything is in you. So you are the Purusha and you are also the Purushottama. So now it is not Shashti Tat Purusha, it is not Purushanam Uttamaha, it is Purushascha Sau Uttamascha. He is the Purusha and he is Uttama. Okay? Purushottamakhyaha. Now comes one final topic. Yasminnidam jagadasheshamasheshamurtau rajvam bhujangama iva pratibhasitam vai. You see, three people are walking. It was dusk and suddenly they encountered a serpent on the footpath. The footpath, not this kind of footpath, the village kind of footpath. So they are walking and they found a serpent. One of them rushed or wanted to rush to fetch a lathi to kill the serpent. You have to kill it, otherwise it will be a problem. It will remain a threat. The second one wanted to chant a serpent mantra near the religious society. Therefore there is a mantra for serpent. Do you know this? There is a mantra for back sprain. You know that?
Yes.
There is a mantra for cold also. There is mantras for everything. Countless mantras. And they flaunt the mantras. Anyway, he has mantra. He said, don't worry, I have mantra. I am chanting it already. And that will subdue the serpent. Then third person said, Arey, just wait. I have a battery light in my pocket. It is dusk. Let me pull it out and focus it on that serpent. And he focuses it on the serpent. It is not serpent. It is a rope. This is the illustration. Okay? The first one is the karma guy. The second one is the upasana guy. The third one is the jnana guy. Okay, you got the point. Now look at this world. You have to understand a few things about Jagat world. What is the world? First, your appreciation of the world will help you understand its real nature, whether it is real or unreal. Here there is a trap. The trap is, people try to describe it, this is some kind of Vedanta. They try to describe it as something which is neither real nor unreal. You see, that kind of a category could be there in other contexts, but in Vedanta there is no such category. Okay? You see, you cannot create a mixed category. It is neither real, it must be either real or unreal, right? I am just looking for an example, like in your pocket, a $100 bill is there or not? Now, you have to say it is, or you have to say it is not. Can there be a middle category in that? Cannot be. Maybe not the right example, you think about it. Therefore, real, something is real. The moment you say it is real, the unreal is excluded. Without excluding unreal, you cannot call it real. Same way, without excluding real, you cannot call it unreal. Okay? So things are either real or unreal. Sometimes a thing appears. Sometimes a thing may not appear. May not appear. It doesn't appear, therefore it is unreal. You cannot say that. That is wrong. Because you see on a clear sky, in a clear night, in a night sky, you can see maximum 4,000 stars. Maximum. But the fact is, in our own Milky Way galaxy, there are a billion stars. You don't see any one of them. They don't appear. Therefore, just because something does not appear, doesn't mean it is unreal. It may not appear, but still it is real. And something appears, but may not be real. For example, the serpent appears, it is not real. I tell you one thing. What is the difference between the horn of a rabbit and the rope serpent? Rope serpent means the serpent that you see where there is a rope, okay? It is not real serpent, rope serpent. Is there a difference between the two or not? The horn of a rabbit, the rope serpent. The horn of a rabbit does not appear, does not exist. Okay, two. You follow carefully. The rope serpent appears, does not exist. Followed it? Horn of a rabbit does not appear, does not exist. The rope serpent appears, does not exist. Am I correct in saying so? Now I will say something else. Now you correct me if I am wrong. If you don't find anything wrong in it, God bless you. The horn of a rabbit does not appear, does not exist. But, I put a but there. The but is most dangerous. But the rope serpent appears, therefore we cannot categorically say whether it exists or not. Do you feel like correcting me, or I am okay with you? You have to correct me. Because you can categorically say that it does not exist. The point is, just because something appears, that doesn't become right away existing. Just because something does not appear, it doesn't become non-existing either. So, something doesn't appear, non-existing. Something appears, non-existing. Something does not appear, exists. Three categories. Horn of a rabbit doesn't appear, does not exist. The rope serpent appears, does not exist. The Atma, or your own inner light, doesn't appear before you, but it alone exists. Okay? Therefore, in all the cases, the real exist means real, not exist means unreal. The division or the contrast is very clear. Either it exists or it does not exist. Just because it appears doesn't make it something different from not existing. It still doesn't exist. Appears all right, still doesn't exist. As far as existence is concerned, that is called ontology. Ontologically, horn of a rabbit and rope serpent are same. Follow it? Agree? Agree or not? Epistemologically, epistema means knowing. Epistemologically, horn of a rabbit and the rope serpent are different. One doesn't appear, the other appears. They are different. But ontologically, they are same. Huh? Jagat is unreal. Like the rope serpent. It is just unreal, like the rope serpent. I remember somebody came to me, a student of Vedanta, unfortunately, and asked me, Jagat, you cannot say it is not unreal. How can you say it is unreal? Oh, so you want to say it is real? Is that what you want to say? No, I don't want to say real. So you don't say real. You don't allow me to say unreal. So what do you want? No, it could be either this or that. No. Take a serpent, rope serpent. Is it real or unreal? Or something different from real and unreal? How do you say? It is unreal. You are hesitating. You should categorically say it is unreal. Rope serpent, unreal. No, pot clay example is different. It is not different. You did not understand it properly, therefore it appears different to you. It is not different. Now I don't have time to... Recently, I gave a talk. Please refer to it. That is the topic. It came in Advaita Academy. There is a thing called Advaita Academy, a website. And there is a talk by me, 1.5 hours. Karana Karyavada. That is the talk. If you have patience, you listen to it. Many people have listened. And it is appreciated widely among that group. Therefore, Jagat we say unreal. It is not real, it is unreal. I went into some technical issues, but the point is you have to actualize it. You have to actualize. It is not enough to technically prove that it is unreal. You have to actualize. For that, you have to study your own experiences. Well, I can only make a few pointers. Already time is over. I will make a few pointers and finish it. Enough for one session. You cannot have the entire Vedanta in 1.5 days, you know. So, the pointers are, when you were a child, the childhood appeared very real, but it vanished. Before you know, before you realize that it is vanishing, it has vanished. In the youth appeared, the youthhood, or you can call it youth also, appeared very real and very powerful and strong. It has vanished. In the middle age, same thing. In the old age also, people are building castles in the air. That is also vanishing. That is what life is. You hold on to the body situation, it will slip away from you. You hold on to the mind, mind is pleasant, very pleasant, vanished. Unpleasant, that also vanished. So, you become one with the body-mind and assume something as there, as something which is there. That something vanishes. That is called Jagat unreal. Jagat Mithya means you hold on to the... You see, you have the world experience. You examine your world experience. You just examine. That will tell you that the world is unreal. You see, you talk of the world out of your world experience, right? The world doesn't come and tell I am the world. Did it ever do that? No. You talk of the world. Why do you talk of the world? Because you have the world experience. Could you understand that point? Let me take a little time so that I will have the satisfaction of doing the job. So the world doesn't come and tell you that I am the world. The world doesn't validate itself. It doesn't establish itself. You say this is the world. You establish it. You validate it. How do you do that? Out of your world experience. Therefore, I would say, world is no different from world experience. Okay? What you call movie is no different from your experience of the movie. You have to experience it. Okay? Therefore, there is no world other than your world experience. You have to get to that point first. If you do not come to that point, you will be caught in the semantics and you will not be able to understand the world correctly. You have to get hold of that point. There is no world other than world experience. Let me elaborate it a little. What is the world? The world is what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you smell. See, take it like that. What you smell and what you touch and what you think. Thinking is dependent upon these five. That is what the world is. Suppose you minus or you eliminate the five sense organs, see, hear, touch, smell, and other thing, taste, and you put the mind aside, the cognitive mind. Is there a world? There is no world. Why? Because there is no experience of the world. The world experience has to happen. Then only you talk of the world as if it is an independent entity. So what I am trying to say, there is no independent entity called world. The world is a child of your experience. The world is no different from world experience. First you have to get that, first point. Otherwise, if you think there is out there some world there and then start discussing whether it is real or unreal, it will take you nowhere. That is what people do. It will take you nowhere. You have to first examine and arrive at this understanding, this vision. There is no world other than world experience. Number one. Number two, how does the world experience happen? It happens because of the functionality of the five sense organs of the mind. Okay? Therefore, the world, which is no different from world experience, is relative to the sense organs and the mind. That's why when the sense organs and the mind are not functioning, there is no world experience and therefore there is no world. That you can learn from your sleep. You have to learn from yourself. You put a guru there and the guru will teach me and I will learn. You will never learn anything in life. You have to become a guru to yourself. And the outer guru should help you in that direction. That is the job of the outer guru. You see, doctor will be treating you whole life, or he treats and finishes his treatment and you live your life. What is how it functions? Our family doctor means what? Every day he will be helping you or what? Is that how you live? Therefore, you have to learn from life. Look at your life. This is Upanishad. The Upanishad asks you to learn from your sleep. In sleep, the sense organs and the mind, their functions are absent. And therefore there is no world experience. And therefore there is no world. Big learning curve it is. Therefore, the world experience is relative to the sense organs and the mind. I'll give you a pointer, you ponder over it. When your mind is absolutely quiet, absolutely silent, there is no waking state anymore. When there is no waking state, there is no world. The world hangs by the thread of mind function, which is the memory. How can that be real? It can be real as the mind function. If the mind function is fickle, unreal, unstable, then the world is also fickle, unreal, unstable. The world is not absolute. It is relative, and relative to the mind function. If you go beyond the mind, as in meditation, as in sleep, there is no world. It is very unreal. Okay? This much explanation is enough. It is like there is a snake or serpent only because you see it. And the light is focused. Hey, there is no serpent. Why? Earlier there was serpent? No. Earlier you have seen the serpent. Now the light is focused. You stopped seeing the serpent. Okay? You can apply this to day-to-day life. You see the enemy, then there is the enemy. You stop seeing the enemy, there is no enemy. How to stop seeing the enemy? You wish his welfare. Take your enemy, your arch enemy, who has done so much injustice and harm to you, and you wish him well. May God bless him. He should be well. What about you? I will be well all right, but first he should be well. Then you will discover that there is no enemy. Outside nothing changes. So there is an enemy only because you see the enemy. Okay? This is philosophy. You have to ponder over it. And your seeing is the critical aspect there. In this rope serpent, your seeing is the critical aspect. You see the serpent, therefore it is there. It is not there, it appears to be there. You should never say it is there. The moment you say it is there, you have committed an ontological blunder. You should not do that. You give its epistemological status only, appears. That's why the world is called lokaha. Look, the word look, loka, same. What you look at is the loka. You stop looking at, there is no loka. You stop looking at the stock market loka, it vanishes. You want to look at it, it will be there. It is like that. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Anybody wants one more